5 bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention! All districts, a 5-alarm fire. 5 bells moving immediately.
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a moment, we'll join Tim Collins, his mother, and his brother Jimmy at the Collins home the morning after the mystery fire which partly destroyed their pantry. A fire which brings to 12 the number of unexplained blazes that have baffled and confounded Chief Cody and the rest of the fire department. Well, now the mystery menace has struck the Collins home itself, and Tim has made a vow to get to the bottom of it all if it's the last thing he does. Now, just what success he has in the role of fire detective, we'll learn right after this important message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the Collins home where Tim, Mother Collins, and Jimmy are having breakfast the morning after the mystery fire in their pantry, the 12th such blaze to strike in the city in 10 days. So far, Chief Cody and the arson squad have found no clue, no fact that would explain these uncanny fires. But now, with the mystery brought into his own home, Tim has declared that he is going to solve it or know the reason why not. His scheme is to make a thorough investigation of his own home and to closely question his mother, a plan that at the moment, as he and Jimmy sit with Mother Collins, doesn't seem too successful.
Oh, come on, Mom. Think there must be some clue somewhere.
Yeah, Mom, isn't there something maybe you've forgotten?
I'm sorry, Tim. I want to clear up this thing as much as you do. After all, nobody in town is safe until... Say, I just happened to think.
What is it, Mom?
No, that couldn't possibly have anything to do with it.
What is it, Mom? Tell us.
Well, I was thinking, I gave that pantry a coat of paint about a week ago, but certainly that...
Paint? Of course you did.
But, gee, how could that cause a fire several days later?
It doesn't seem likely, Jimmy, but still, who knows? Maybe it's a clue. Tell me, Mom, where'd you get the paint?
Well, let's see. Where did I get it, Jimmy?
Oh, you ordered it from an ad in the paper.
So I did.
I remember the night you filled out the coupon.
Some mail order house, huh? Jimmy.
Yeah, Tim?
Do we still have that newspaper, do you suppose?
Well, you ought to. Mom never throws anything away. It should be on the back porch. I'll take a look.
Good.
I don't see any possible connection between the paint and the fire.
Well, I don't either, Mom, but a good detective doesn't pass anything up. Find it, Jimmy?
Yep, here it is. My paper's about 2 weeks old. Let's see. Well, here's the ad.
Oh, let's see. Householders take advantage of this new sensational introductory offer. A full quart of a new quick-drying enamel for only 59 cents. Comes in 8 colors. Just mail money and address to Box 205 City.
What do you think, Tim?
Nothing unusual about the ad or the fact that Mom painted her pantry before the fire, but still, I think Chief Cody ought to hear about this.
Gulping down the last of his breakfast, Tim bolts out the front door for fire headquarters. In the chief's office, he loses no time telling the older man about the one small clue he's turned up in the case of the 12 mysterious fires.
Paint, huh? So your mother gave your pantry a fresh coat of paint a week before the fire.
That's right, sir. I know it doesn't seem like much of a clue, but I'm not overlooking anything.
You're wise, Tim. Nothing's too small to ignore in this case. Paint. I wonder...
Have an idea, Chief?
Might. Hand me that phone, Tim, will you?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Give me Underhill 2567, operator.
Who are you calling, sir?
The Selden residence.
Selden? They're one of the mystery fires, aren't they?
That's right. Number 3. Fire in a bedroom.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mrs. Selden. Chief Cody of the fire department calling. Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Selden, at any time before your recent fire, did you freshly paint your bedroom? Was that? Mm-hmm. I see. Yes. No, that's all for now. And thanks, Mrs. Selden. Goodbye.
What'd she say, Chief?
Tim, It might just be coincidence, but you may have something in this paint clue.
Yes?
Mrs. Selden gave her bedroom a new coat of paint just 5 days before the fire.
Oh, good grief. Maybe I have got something.
It's worth following up at any rate. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll give you half these cards with the records of our mystery fires. I'll take the rest.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll get into another office and get on the phone. Call them all up.
Right.
Ask them 2 questions. 1, did they do any painting in the room before the fire?
Yes, sir.
And 2, where did they get the paint?
I'll go to work on it right away.
Good. I'll make my calls at the same time. May turn out that you're an ace fire detective yet.
Taking the record cards the chief gives him, Tim finds a telephone and starts calling. 15 minutes later, the young rookie is back in Chief Cody's office, his hands trembling with excitement.
Chief, what do you think?
I don't think I know. We've got a hold of something really hot.
Every one of the 6 fire victims I called had used paint in the room where the fire started.
Same results I got, son. And furthermore, they all bought their paint through that ad in the newspaper. Post Office Box 205.
Yes, sir. So did mine. Oh, gosh, that paint must be dynamite.
Something's mighty strange about it, that's certain. Tim.
Yes, sir.
Does your mother have any of that paint left, do you suppose?
Well, she must have, sir. She bought a quart, and the pantry's only a tiny room.
Good. I'll tell you what you do. Take my car and get home as fast as you can.
Yes, sir.
Pick up what paint your mother has. Then come back and call for me.
Oh, where to then, sir?
We're paying a call on my old scientist friend, Dr. Harry Curtis. If there's anything wrong with that paint, he'll be able to tell us in a hurry.
A half hour later, the big red car of Chief Cody's pulls up before Dr. Curtis's laboratory, and the chief and Tim enter to find the famous scientist hard at work over one of his experiments. He's more than willing, however, to stop what he's doing when the chief, placing a can of the mystery paint on his laboratory workbench, tells the doctor about the long series of baffling fires.
Well, there have been 12 of them, Doctor. 12 fires in the last 10 days. And nobody, from the arson squad on down, has the slightest idea of what caused them until...
Until Tim here ran across the fact that his mother used paint just before the fire.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Now that we've discovered that in every one of these dozen fires, paint, this same paint, was used on the walls of the rooms that caught fire, we're pretty sure it must be linked some way with the mystery.
Yes, evidence points pretty strongly to that fact, all right. Let me see that paint.
See anything unusual about it, Doctor?
No, but then you can't tell from the looks. I'll just step over here and analyze the sample. This may take a while. Do you gentlemen want to wait or perhaps come back a little later?
We'll wait, Doctor. This may be the payoff in this case. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
While Dr. Curtis goes to work with beakers and retorts, testing the chemical makeup of the paint, Chief Cody and Tim sit eagerly by, studying the expression on the scientist's face, trying to determine, if they can, what it is he discovers in the mystery paint. It's about an hour later. The doctor looks up and then beckons to the men.
Well, Doctor?
Did you find anything, sir, that would make it inflammable?
I'm afraid not.
Nothing?
I've subjected this paint to every possible test. And as far as I can determine, there's nothing in it that could possibly cause a fire.
Are you sure, sir?
Well, as a scientist, I've learned never to be sure of anything. But all my tests...
Oh, here you are, sir. You dropped your fountain pen.
Oh, thank you. Must have fallen out of my pocket. But it's not a fountain pen, Tim.
No, it looks like one.
I know. It's a pocket Geiger counter.
A what, sir?
A Geiger counter. A little gadget that tells when a material or object has radioactivity.
Oh, sure. They use them when working with atomic energy.
That's right. See, here, I'll show you how it works.
Yes, sir.
You just take the Geiger counter and pass it over an object that might be radioactive.
Uh-huh.
Say, for instance, this sample of our paint.
I see, sir.
Just wave the Geiger counter close to the sample, and if it were radioactive, this little needle would waver and move.
Mm-hmm. Holy smoke, Doctor, it does move.
Say, it does at that. You're right, Tim. You see that needle jiggle when I pass it near the paint, Chief?
Sure jumps around, all right. Hey, that means
gentlemen, that your mystery paint contains a radioactive substance.
Oh, good grief. Could that have caused the fires?
No, not in itself. But if there was some... Chief.
Yes, Doctor?
It's very possible that your fire mystery is bigger than you think. Yes, and a lot more dangerous and deadly.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, I'm not quite sure yet, but I have a long-shot theory. And if I'm right, we'll need the help of the police.
What can Dr. Curtis mean that the fire mystery may be more deadly and dangerous than the chief thinks? What theory does he have that calls for the service of the police? To learn the climax to this thrilling fire mystery, be sure to listen to the next episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Cody will tell all of you boys and girls how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, here's Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. The other day, I told you about some fire precautions to take if you live on a farm. Now I want to tell you about a couple for folks who live in the city. This fire safety tip is for you who live in apartment houses. If you or your parents ever leave small children in an apartment with a babysitter, always be sure to show the person who's staying with the children the location of the fire escapes, just in case. Another thing to do before leaving a sitter with children, show her where the telephone is and leave your number where you can be reached so she can call in case of an emergency. Well, that's all for now. Till I drop in the next time, so long.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.